Welcome back to my garage. If you're here for the first time, welcome. So I'm going to continue my project on this TR7. In the previous episode I said I was going to work on putting that front wing on, but actually I did decide to pull this sill out, and so although I start out talking about the front wing, the project is about pulling that sill out today. I am only an amateur. I'm learning as I go. I show everything, whether I make mistakes or get it right. I show a lot of my grumbles as I'm going along, as I talk to myself. Please, if you've got anything to help with, let me know. I do listen to everything that's said, even if I don't always get it or implement it. But I'm pretty happy with progress today. It feels like I made some improvements. Okay, in this episode I'm going to look at refitting this. In order to do that, I need to make sure I'm happy with this sill how it is, and I think it's a bit far in. So we're going to start by just bolting this on a bit better, both here and here, getting it in place. We'll get the wing in place, then we'll put the door on. There it is, the door, and we'll put the door on. We'll come back and we'll have a look at it. Be lots of swearing as I try to do this, so I'm not going to bother to film it. Okay, we're going to have to do something about it. It's at this point, it's, what is that? About not a centimetre surely, but anyway, quite a bit. So from here, it starts to go in, and so I'm going to have to cut along there, fix something in somehow, and pull it out. And then what that will mean is that if I pull that out, this will actually end up trying to come out. So I'm going to have to cut this flange and weld, or this join here, and then weld something on there that goes in to keep the other bit where it is. Alright, so we will mark here where it's okay. We'll take a measurement for here and we'll move it out that much. It's going to have to be done. And then this, I don't know if you remember, but when I did this I ended up with this slightly over, so I clearly made my arch slightly back. Looks okay when you're up, at least I don't notice it, so I'm going to have to come along here as well, I think, and just trim that off to get it right. Yeah, it's going to be a big job in the end. But whilst I'm here, on the good side, we've got a decent door gap there. I've bolted it up along here, and that's okay. I've got a clamp in just here holding it in place, and that's holding it nice and tight. There's a little bit of a gap just here, but the rest of the way around that wheel arch is good. So it might be worth indeed cutting and pulling this flange out a bit, just to get good connection all the way around there. Well, okay. It's now Saturday. I've been thinking about what to do here and how to go about it, and I decided the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all straightened out. So, you know, this should go straight down, so we're going to start by cutting this off. I suspect that will then mean we are going to pull this out, the skin out, the sill. So what I think I'm going to have to do is I'll end up having to take this off, and then on the inside I'll need to cut straight down there as well, where this connects to the inner sill, and possibly cut it in two places and then put in, you know, a strip to take it from this height down and in. Yeah, so I need to bring this out a certain, well, by that mount. So I need to measure from the edge to this far out to know how far to bring this. I can then take the door off, cut this, pull it out, take this off, put in the bit to connect it all up, and then put it all back together and hope it works. Good, that's my plan. So we'll start by trying to get some straight line here. Okay, so just down at the bottom here, I don't want to cut into the flange from the sill, so we'll take that off when I take the fender off the car. We'll take a grinding wheel to flattening it out. It's just here I managed to cut in a little bit, but I think that's that should be okay. A bit of a grinding wheel should smooth that out, and a bit of filler here will get it flat. Which we're going to be doing on the door side as well, so that should be okay. So the next thing we're going to do is open up this door. We're going to measure out this distance here. We're going to open up the door and measure and add on the distance inside. Are we? What's the alternative? The alternative is I cut it with the door on there, pull it out, and then somehow tack it into place. I'm going to have a look at that first. Okay, the truth is I know exactly how far to come out if I leave the fender on, because it comes out to there. So it starts losing its shape here. So I'm going to, and it loses it all the way down actually. So I'm going to cut here to pull it off there, and I'm going to cut along here to pull it out, and we're going to see if we can't get it to line up. Okay, this isn't going to be perfect, but it's a lot better. So we can see there's a slight gap still on both sides there. That gap is worse further down, but I think I can live with that, because my intention is when I paint, is this is all going to get painted in kind of a thick protector, what you'd normally put underneath, and so we can build it up a bit to flatten it out there, so I'm not too fussed by that. So we're going to go with that. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start by tacking along here, wherever I can to fill it up as far as I can, and then at some point we'll have to do a bit of metal, which I would like, if I can, to just slide underneath the other side and weld it in like that, and then weld it flat along, if that makes sense. It does to me. So we'll start along here with some welding. Right, we're going to take a break there. I'm actually really quite pleased with this. I think it looks better than it did before. These aren't pinholes. I don't seem to be able to grind it down flat, and I keep trying, and I don't get the same finish as I got here, so I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong at the moment. So rather than push it, I'm going to stop. We've got a slight divot in here, and that's where I cut it. I don't know if that was on the time lapse, but I cut it just here to fit in a piece along, cut out the strip, and it's come in a bit low. Never mind. So I'm really pleased with this. Actually, it looks a lot better. I mean, a lot better than it did before, both in terms of how far out it's come in. It's not quite as far as I'd wanted, but that's pretty good. And in terms of the grinding and the welding, so I'm really pleased. Downside is it's making me wonder how much I should go back and redo other bits that I've done. and I'll have to make a decision about that. But the next thing we're going to do after we have some lunch and a bit of a break is we're going to take the fender off. We're going to cut and weld in a connector here between this and the inner sill, and we're going to put plug welds all around the various places, like the wheel arch and across the top here and down the bottom over there where it connects up to the front valence, to fit this on. But some food and a bit of a break first. So I've got the wing off. This doesn't look as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting to have to put in, something at an angle like this. I'd forgotten about what this looked like. So I'm going to just, I might need a bit of a patch here, but I'm going to just try cleaning it off first, welding it and seeing if I can get it flat and all filled in. If I can't, then we'll look at doing something a little bit more. So that's done and is strong, but I'm looking at this and there's no way this gap's meant to be here. So I made this. If I go back and check my video, I'm sure I did like that to give this in a bit of the sill strength, but I never connected it up here for whatever reason. So now if it stays like this, we're going to have the gap down here and water will be able to get in there very easily, which I don't particularly want. So I'm not going to overcomplicate this. I'm not going to try to connect it all the way up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of metal that curves that. Just weld it on the inside so that it comes out about an inch or so up here. So I'll cut out this bit here and just so we'll still have this sort of air hole, but with the fender over it, we shouldn't have anything coming in here, and so we won't have the hole and all of that, and so that actually should, I think, keep it dry. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so that's fixed. I'm quite pleased with that, although I thought I had ground this down better than I have done when I now got paint on it, so I might give that another grind and another weld. You really see it shows up much more when you put a bit of paint on there. I was silly in that I wasn't painting the underside because I wanted to get on with it, and that might cause me a bit of a problem later, but that's come on, and I think that's going to sit out a lot better. I might need a bit of a hammer just to make sure that stays in, but we should avoid any overlap there now. And so I'm going to end the episode here, and although I promised you this wing last time, we're going to put on this wing in the next episode.